Hello, everybody on Zoom, on Instagram Live with us for our July monthly mentor meeting. My name is Christine Conti, and I am your CEO of FITFIXNOW. Remember, your leading online continuing education platform in the world. And we have some pretty amazing information and bombshell kind of announcements that are coming at you today. So, whether you are on the actual Zoom with us, all right, or you're jumping on, hello, Irene, who is going to be joining us in the future, one of our monthly mentor meetings. I'm really excited about what is up and coming. So, before we even dive into some of this, I want to let you know that Ricky Prasad, our VP of Marketing, Sales, Acquisitions, Partnerships, and myself, we're out in Las Vegas, Nevada, for a couple-day conference with Career Lab, which is powered by Coach 360, which is one of our partners. And for those of you that don't know what that is, the Career Lab is actually an educational conference. They do it a couple times a year for personal trainers, for Group X, for bodybuilding coaches and athletes. You go out and you hear from the top in the industry. Now, you're not working out, right? You're not doing classes. You're actually learning about the business behind some of these companies, best practices. You're going to hear stories of kind of the journey of what it took or what it takes to make it to that next level. And when I say next level, I want you to go get your education, right? I want you to go get your exercise science degree, your personal training certification, whatever that may be. And I want you to keep it valid. I want you to keep learning, right? But the experience and what is really important right now is what people call the soft skills, which the soft skills now are not so soft. Soft skills are actually your power skills. And if you want to make it, whatever that means to you, whatever your goal is, right? Is it financial freedom? Is it making millions of dollars? Is it just maybe enjoying what you do and being able to pay your bills? Whatever that may be, right? What I want you to think about right now is, are you happy with mediocrity, or would you like to scale? Would you like to be able to sit back and have residual income? If you're a trainer, how is it that people are not training 20 clients a day? Is there something to say for group trainings? Is there a secret sauce that you actually can save your body and have days off? So these are the things that I want you to be aware of, that there are resources for you all over the place. So Ricky and I were there. Actually, I spoke on a panel about longevity. How do you stay in the industry? How is it? And one of the things that I got to speak about over the weekend was the kind of key takeaway is always about being in the room, right? You want to stay relevant. You want your education to be relevant. How do you stay in the room? You keep evolving with your clients. Clients today are not like clients back in the day. Clients today expect more. They do, right? They expect more. You're not just going in there and being like, oh, here's your workout, go do it. No, it's they want you to check in on their mental health. They want a conversation. They want to feel empowered. They want positive words. They want this. They want some nutrition guidance. Whoa, okay. How are we doing all of this and staying in your lane? You might not be a psychologist, but you're listening to, mental health. How do you answer? Do you have the conversational skills to do that? Do you know what to say? Nutrition. Do you know, all the people right now, the millions of people that are on GLP-1s right now? If you have 20 people in your class or you see 20 clients, do you know that at least 2 of those people are on GLP-1s or more? Yeah. And that doesn't count with people who've tried them. And guess what? Those people may not know what they're doing. And they may not know that, guess what? You shouldn't be doing all this cardio if you're in a deficient caloric state all the time, right? What are we doing about our muscle loss. And yes, I just did a shameless plug about the new workshop that's on FitFixNow. GLP-1s, understanding GLP-1s, what fitness professionals need to know. Yeah, there's things that you need to know, right? They're not all the same. And science is changing by the day with that stuff. So I want you to stay up. And again, I like to talk about longevity. It made me feel like a dinosaur. I'm going to say that right now. I feel like, I'm still new in the industry, yet I'm not, but this is really important. We don't want you to leave, everybody. We want you to stay. The world needs more fitness wellness professionals. So that is why we're here. I do want to also talk about, there's lots of new workshops coming out on the platform. Lots of new workshops. The workshops are tailored to the latest research, the trends. So we just had a GLP-1 workshop come out about specifically tailored to what you should know. There's some interviews on there as well. Something that I need to point out is that GLP-1s are not just physical, they're mental. And something that is huge that I learned conducting an interview with our very own licensed professional counselor for FITFIXNOW is that I want you to think about this real fast. Food is a comfort for a lot of people. And many people that are on GLP-1s, larger bodied, overweight, food is their comfort. Okay. It's their whoopee, it's their planky, right? Okay. Now you're taking away the food noise when you're taking a GLP-1 away, or when you're adding the GLP-1. It's taking that food noise away, you're not eating as much. But eating for them was soothing. It was something that calmed them. So my question to you is, what are the GLP-1 users doing instead to soothe themselves? Bet you didn't think about that before. So these are the things that we bring in our mental health expert to unpack. How do we go about asking them? Are we seeing something different? Because this is powerful, powerful stuff. So again, how do you be good? How do you be great in this profession? We start thinking outside the box. We start thinking bigger, right? So with that said, another course that is going to be launching is called the Recovery Revolution. The more I travel around the world, it used to be, only machines and whatnot were at these conferences. And now it's about 70% recovery. And when I mean recovery, I mean, you're going to see cryo chambers, you're going to see ice baths, you're going to see saunas, you're going to see infrared rays or light. You're going to see a lot of recovery tactics, not just rollers, right? But not just myofascial release, but all of these different modalities. And it's interesting that we think about the physical, about what that does. Maybe it's something that's great for, lessening swelling because it constricts blood vessels. Great. Okay. But now, what does that do mentally as well? So a lot of our courses right now, because that mental health crisis is very real, we've got to also talk about this. So I do want to announce, as I said, FITFIXNOW has an official licensed professional counselor, and her name is Lori Rowland. She's not just a licensed professional counselor, but she's also a drug and alcohol counselor and specializes in narcissistic abuse and also addiction. This is very powerful, so that when you do see her, she's going to be coming on board, big announcement, on our board of directors. So there's going to be a huge announcement coming soon about some of our board members who just happen to be unbelievable experts in the fitness and wellness industry. And I know that even my board members coming on don't want to be called experts because they still feel like they're always learning, which is why I love them so much. But we've got a diverse group of unbelievable fitness experts, and they are up the wazoo in education and certifications, and even greater in experience. So I cannot wait to introduce them. You'll be seeing them roll out in our newsletters. You're going to be seeing them make appearances on our monthly meetings, kind of like our podcasting that we do here. And I want you to be on the lookout for that, because they are going to help elevate your careers and your life. So with that said, I'm just saying hi to everyone that is on Instagram and also those of us on Zoom. You could always drop it in the chat if you have questions. But I really wanted to just take this moment and give you a couple questions to sit back and reflect. So, obviously, I want all of you to think about what you're doing right now in your business. Are you a business? Do you consider yourself a business? Do you know what your brand represents? So, while I was at this conference, that was huge. That was a big, big sticking point for a lot of people because they were going a mile wide and an inch deep with their offerings. And I know it may be cliche, but the whole idea of finding a niche is really important. On social media, on Instagram, on ChatGPT, in a gym, in your local community, how are you differentiating yourself from another trainer? Because if you're like, hey, I'm just going to talk about chronic diseases. Okay, but which ones? I'm going to train adults and kids. Which one? Where do you want to go here? And that I thought was really interesting because people are now just advertising. And even if you think about the wording that you use on your marketing, social media, emails, flyers, I don't care. Niche down. Niche down as best as you possibly can. And sometimes it's process of elimination. Sometimes you think that you would have belonged with kids. Like me, I'm a former teacher. I thought that my goal in life was to educate the youth. And guess what? Yeah, I still work with students, but mostly older students. And it took 15 years for me to figure out that that wasn't it. It took less time to figure out that I did not want to be investment banking, but you go through it. So it's okay if you're like, hey, I thought it was this, I tried it, but it's best to think about if you were to wake up tomorrow, you only had one thing that you could pick to do, what would it be? That's it. It's easy as that. One. You gotta pick one. You can't pick five. I know you like doing all five. You pick one. I know. It's like, what's your favorite food? Well, what's the one that you would want to wake up tomorrow and only have? I know. I know it's hard. It's hard because you want them all, but you can't. And again, good to great. You don't go to a nail salon to get your hair done. Their niche is nails. Right? I need you to think about this. You're not going to go to the pizza place to go buy bananas. That's bananas, right? These things are really, I know that it sounds funny, but when you look at the industry, it's one thing. Are you focusing on foot health or are you focusing on strength? Are you a bodybuilding coach or you're an endurance coach? That's it. So I want to leave you with that for today of those kind of big drops. The other last thing, and I know I shouldn't be saying this, but there's some other really big things coming at you. All right. And I cannot wait to share. So make sure that you're reading that newsletter. Make sure that you are staying up on your education. If there's anything you need, please reach out to us. And of course, thank you all for joining on Instagram. Thank you all for joining on Zoom today. And you're going to go out and you're going to have the best day ever. And we will see you in August for our next meeting. I'm going to turn this off and take some questions. And you rock.